Hello everyone, this is Greg from Mystery Honey. Today I'm going to be doing lots of things, but mostly it's going to be transferring nucleus colonies into full-size hives. As things have gone, they're running out of space because, especially at my new apiary site, my new mating apiary, there's a decent spring flow and they're running out of space fast. And I'm probably going to need to take some honey off as well. So that's going to be interesting because I've never taken spring crop before. But yeah, other than that, I think I'm just going to be cracking on. I don't know how much I'm going to be showing you guys, but we'll just have to see. If there's anything interesting, I'll put it on this, but otherwise it's probably just going to be me zooming around quickly. So I'm going to go get suited and booted and get my smoker lit. I'll see you in there. The first protocol is the mating apiary. So I've not actually inspected these for a couple of weeks now. There's worryingly not many bees coming out of the entrance. So I don't know if you remember last time you saw these, I stole a load of brood from them to help bolster my production hives. And then I've pretty much just left them to it. Usually they bounce back quite fast. They don't seem to be in the super that I put on, but they are growing. They've got back to the size that they were before. I stole the broods, that's good. Ooh, right, there's quite a lot of slugs in that though, so it means that there's quite a lot of humidity in this area, which isn't particularly bad. Just means that the colony size needs to be bigger to get rid of the slugs. But they're over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 frames now. So, seeing as they were only on 4 or whatever like that, when I took all that brood, they've bounced back quite well in 2 weeks. So we've got some honey here, and they are putting some nectar in, but it looks like they're mostly just refreshing the comb on this one. You can tell because if you look here, it's a lot darker comb here, and over here is a lot lighter. So a lot lighter means that they have chewed it down and started to refresh it and turn it a bit cleaner. So yeah, so that's what they're doing with this one. So it's because it's on the outside of the box, in essence, because it's on the outside of the colony, they go slowly outwards and clean and refresh things as they're going along. But these guys aren't in any danger of swarming or anything. Got some capped brood here that's emerging right there. Hope you can see that. And because it's really dark where I am, got the old torch, so you can see some eggs. No eggs yet. That's fine. I've only just cracked into it. Still no eggs. That's fine. I'm not worried yet. If I got to get to halfway and there's no eggs there yet, then I'm going to start to worry. But other than that, seem to be doing all right. Again, I'm not wanting any honey off these guys. This apiary don't need the bees to create me honey. I need them to create me brood. That is their main purpose in my production. Yeah, still no eggs I can see, and no larvae. So the bees are expanding well. Interesting. Okay. Could just mean that the queen's elsewhere. Nothing to worry about yet. I'll tell you when it's squeaky bum time. Quick look, make sure that the queen's not there. Can't see her. I'm getting smoked out. Move the smoker a bit over it. There. Let's see if we can see some eggs. Still no eggs. So this queen isn't as productive as I wanted to be, really. But it's nearly queen rearing season, so... Oh, someone asked the other day on YouTube, I think it was, why I only queen rear in June. So you can rear queens anytime throughout the year, if you really want to. But it's whether they get mated well or not. That's the main kicker. And where I am, there's only enough drones saturating the area around June time to make a decent to get the queens decently mated. So that's why I wait until June, but then I usually hammer them out. So still not seeing any eggs, and I'm halfway through, so I'm getting a little worried. So I've not seen any swarm cells yet. I can't imagine the colony will have swarmed in that time, because it wasn't huge. So I'm a bit thrown by this. Ah! There is a swarm cell. There's a... So this is interesting. Okay. So we've got multiple cells, but there's only one that's actually hatched. The rest have been torn down, and I'll show you that in a second. I'm just making sure I can see virgin queen. So that's interesting. Did not expect them to swarm. They were so small beforehand, but that explains why I'm not seeing any eggs. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, because I've seen that they've got swarm cells, I'm going to have to shake the bees off the frames and just inspect a bit more thoroughly. So, if you see here, that there, if I can get a bit closer, that there is a torn down cell. So a swarm cell should look like that. So you can see it's elongated. It's elongated, and it's got a hole at the very bottom. So that means that one has emerged. So that's come out the bottom, and that's fine. These ones here, if you look, they have the bottoms still intact. There's one there as well. One there. They have the bottoms intact, so, and they've got a hole in the side. So what's happened is that, and this one as well, that queen has emerged, and the bees here have said there's not enough bees to swarm again after the initial one. So what we're going to do is we're going to tear down these queen cells. So that's what they've done. So if you ever see a queen cell and it's got holes in the side rather than the bottom, that means that the bees have torn it down and got rid of the queen. So that's interesting. So there must be a virgin queen in here somewhere. So I'm just going to make sure that there's no more queen cells. There shouldn't be. If they've started tearing them down, then it means that the bees have already done the job that I'm going to be doing now. But yeah, not really much I can do if they've swarmed. Just have to tear down these cells, rip them out. It's not going to cause too much damage, and it means that the bees can start cracking on with repairing the comb. That is interesting. I was not expecting these guys to swarm. They had loads of space, and they had very few bees, so that has thrown me a bit, actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back through the frames and just check. See if there's any more swarm cells. There shouldn't be, because the bees have already started tearing them down. But we've just got to make sure. And that shows that you should still do your weekly inspections, even if you think there's no chance of them swarming, because they can throw a spanner in the works, as you can probably tell. Okay, that's fine. Right, so they weren't even on the end frames there, so that's fine. But, move you here. So that has thrown me a little bit. That's fine. Just gonna see if I can find the Virgin Queen. Now I know what I'm looking for. Virgin Queens are quite hard to see, whereas a normal queen that's mated is quite elongated, and Virgin Queens are very slim, and they can be mistaken as normal worker bees. So check this off. Right, so we've got another cell here that's been torn down. Boop. Still no eggs, so it means that the Virgin Queen hasn't been mated properly. And another one, look at that one. So that's a good example there, if you can see. So you can see how it's been torn down by the side. The bottom is still intact, so they've gone in and they've torn out the larvae from the side. And that one. Okay, well, that's annoying, but it happens. I'm going to shake this out. Have a look. Yeah, they're just filling this one with nectar. I'm guessing the next one will be full of nectar as well. And we're done with this one. There you are, done. So we have a Virgin Queen on the loose in this hive. So what we're going to do is shut them up and leave them for another few weeks. They're not going to swarm with a Virgin Queen. And what we'll do is, in a few weeks, if they still have no eggs, I'll put a frame of eggs from another hive in there, and if they start making queen cells, it means that the Virgin Queen has either failed, where she hasn't mated properly and the bees have seen her off, or she's been eaten by another bird, or something like that out there. So, yeah, I'm just going to close these guys off. Go on, in your hive. Oh! Don't bother. I wasn't expecting that this morning. Right, on to the next one. I've not inspected this one for a few weeks either, so may have the same situation. So again, these guys have grown quite well as well. There was not many of these at all. Oh, actually, have they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 frames of bees. So that's actually not great, because I left them on 5 seams. So, right, I'll take this one out. There's nothing on it. Just be quick. So they are filling this. So this is a foundation frame from this year, and they're drawing it out really strangely. You can see that, so this is fresh foundation, and they've cut through and started making holes on the other side for some reason. I'm going to shake them out, shake them off the frame. Just look at it. Yeah, so they're making a bit of random comb there. If you ever see that, all you need to do is just tear it off and bring it back down to the foundation, and hopefully the bees will do the right thing after that. But we've got some, what looks like cappings, but it's not. What they've done is they've cut a hole through the back there. I'll put that there. That's weird. These are weird bees. Anyway, that's just foundation that they're drawing out. There's nothing on it. Anyway, let's have a look at this one. So we have brood on this frame. Just do a quick check, see if you can see the queen. Can't see the queen, so I'm going to shake them out. So another question I was asked is, do I always shake bees off frames? I tend to, just because I don't have time to look around in between the bees and stuff like that. I do tend to check to make sure there's no queen on the frame before I do so, but if so, then you've seen how I shake them. It's usually very gentle on the top of the frame, so if the queen hits the frame, she'll just wiggle her way down to the bottom. So doesn't do any harm to the bees, and it means I can get a nice clear picture of what's going on. So all the way around there, it's brood, tassel cap brood there, and in between it, it's got some eggs and it's got some larvae as well. So she's doing a job. It's not a great laying pattern, so what I'd expect is, especially at this time of year, is a full frame of cap brood. So she should have laid all that at the same time. But what she's doing is she's just higgly-piggly popping a bum in different ones and then walking on. So it's not a great laying pattern. Shake this side as well. And from this side you can see it's exactly the same. She's not doing a great job laying pattern-wise. That to me is a requeening jobby. But she's keeping the colony alive for now, so that's all that matters. I'm just checking to see if I can see the queen. She's marked, I think, but the bees may have licked it off. Never trust a mark. So I'm going to shake it off. So that's a bit better. As you can see, it's a bit more of a solid pattern of capped brood, but it's still not great. She has laid up every cell though, so she's doing okay. And again, it's a solidish pattern there, but around the outside she's getting a bit lost. That's fine. Again, check for the queen. Don't have to do a proper check, just a quick glance, see if you can see a dot. Or if you can see the shiny bum. No, nothing, so I want to shake them out. Yeah, that pattern's pretty bad. So, see how there's like a semicircle there? What you want is the centre to be, to have all emerged and be laid up and stuff like that. So you're wanting to see like circular patterns. So that is kind of a circular pattern there, but with this, it's just everywhere. So she's just going around and popping a bum in different cells. She's not really paying attention to where she's doing it. So it's not a really good laying pattern. So, yeah. This queen is on the chopping block for when I do my queen rearing later on. The bees are nice though, so they're not causing me any issues. They're not attacking me. They're not pinging me or anything. So she's not too bad. That's a little better. I don't know, she's not doing great. This is more brood though, so just keeping the place alive. She's got plenty of room though. The main important things when you're doing inspections is brood, food, and space. So that's what you're looking for. You want to make sure that she's got space to lay. They've got food to eat if it gets rainy, which I've heard it's going to be raining for 10 days non-stop soon, so that's going to be fun. So they need to have some stores that they can eat. I've got a few stores, but not a lot. So I may, if I've got some food somewhere, I might put a frame of food in here just to give them a bit of a boost. So also what I'm doing when I'm doing these inspections is I'm just checking the cells here. So I'm just making sure that they're a nice colour, that they are dry, because you don't want them to be slick or slimy looking. And I'm trying to look for any holes. So you can see one there. I don't know if you can see it actually. I'll bring it a bit closer. There's a hole in the cell there. That one's not too bad. And there's one over here as well. Generally, that means that you've got a bit of a varroa problem. Because what's happening is the bees are going in, they're sensing something's wrong with the larvae, and they're opening it up and having a nosy inside. So yeah, usually it means that you've got a bit of a varroa problem. So that's not really what I want in my mating apiary. Fortunately, because I'm not bothered about the honey here, I can treat these guys for Varroa anytime I want, because I'm not taking any honey from them. So, and here's another recent foundation frame that they have just gone crazy with. What's that about? Yeah. So fortunately, that there is drone brood, so I don't really particularly care about losing that, so I'm just going to peel this off. Come on, ciao, out of the way. Bring it back down to the foundation. Because an issue is that they can hide things. See how there's like a little pocket in there now? They can hide things in these pockets, like swarm cells and disease and all sorts of horrible things. So it's best to make sure that it's a single layer. Let's shake these again. So I'm not quite sure why they're doing that. I think maybe the foundation I used might have been old or older, so they're finding it hard to draw off. But the temperature in here should soften the foundation enough that they can draw it fine. So bring it back down to the foundation and hopefully they'll get the memo. Yeah, so there's no more pockets there. They've got food on this frame, so they're fine for food now. I don't have to worry too much. And this is just an empty frame. Okay. Right then, so I'll close this up. Ooh. So they're fine, they've got space. They're only on that many seams there. They've got all the space here and they've got some frames there as well. And the queen isn't laying up like a trooper too much, so I don't think they're in any position to swarm. So I'm just going to thing it up. So the question is, how do I remember this has a virgin queen that is off on its mating flight? All I do is get a pen and just write on the top board. It's got a virgin queen, 2nd of June, 24. So that means in 2 weeks or so, I'm going to come back and check this. Right, on to the next ones. So this is another one that I've been stealing brood from quite regularly. But it's just been growing and growing and growing. So as it's been growing, I've been putting more and more boxes on. I don't think they're in the top box yet, although I could be wrong. Ah, slug. Slugs are everywhere. But they are in the top box. That's interesting. So I can see the little mouths here. So what I do is I try my best to inspect the bottom box first and work my way up. Unfortunately, this is really tall, so I can't just pick them up and put them down. So I'm going to have to take them off piecemeal. So let's get rid of this crown board. And this one. So these can be a bit feisty, these broods. I think it's because they've got honey. They don't want me nicking it. Ugh. So yeah, I'll just show you. So this was full of battered frames that were almost black because of the mould that got them over winter. And if you look here, you can see that it's absolutely full. First of all, they've cleaned it up. All this comb is now fresh and it's white, it's clean. And if you look in the cells, you've got honey, which is amazing. So this one, I'm going to be taking some honey off, I think, at some point. They haven't capped it yet, so I'm not in a position to take it off them yet. But soon. Soon. Right, so let's take this off. Oh, it's heavy. So look at this one. This is the sort of frames, what they look like. So as you can see, you can tell the difference there. So if you look at that, where it's absolutely battered from when I did the extraction last year, and then you compare that to this frame here, you can see the work that they've put in to turn that into that. I think it's quite impressive. But yeah, right. Well, they're just going through it slowly. That's fine. They're allowed. So this box is half full. So another thing with honey supers is try not to use smoke with honey supers. There they are cleaning it, you can see. It's a lot cleaner around the edges here. So this is a more recent frame, a more recent box I've put in. So that's why this is still a bit dirty compared to the other one. That's fine. They'll clear it up before they put honey in it. That's exactly what they're doing here. Right, this is where the brood area starts coming in. So I'm going to take these off, let's inspect the bottom box, and then this is going to be another one where the queen is probably hanging around. There's not as many bees in here as I thought there were, actually. So I wonder if they've actually swarmed, but we'll see. Ooh, oh, there's more bees down there. Oof, look at that. Well, you can't actually. They've picked up the wrong box for that. Right, so pick up this box. Yeah, so these can be quite tetchy, these bees. They're not stinging me, but they are flying around going, where the hell's my roof? Which is fine, it's understandable. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to calm them down a bit with a bit of smoke. Don't use a lot of smoke, just little puffs. As you can see, they've calmed down quite a bit. So they're flying all of them are flying to the entrance down here. Let's do the inspection. So they're not on the outside frames, which is fine. They've got so much space above them that they're just going up rather than outwards. It's just empty. Okay, so I'm just going to stick that there. So only the bees can fly in if needs be. This is another empty frame. This is foundation that they just completely ignored. So what I'm going to do is I'll move that into the centre so they draw it out. Got to keep them entertained. So you can see that as I pick up a frame, they are flying around trying to investigate my hand. They're not stinging me yet, he says, but they are investigating me, so they're not particularly friendly. So if I can requeen this at some point later on this year, I will do. I don't like angry bees. They tend to produce the best amounts of honey. So now they stung me. So when bees sting you, they release a pheromone into your hand that alerts them to sting you more. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to blast the area with smoke, hopefully stop the sting because it stops it from hurting as much, and mask that pheromone so they don't sting me in the hand again. So these guys, yeah, they're not particularly nice, but inspections still have to go on. Just have to be calm. So these are still investigating the hand. They're not stinging me where I was stung before, so that's good. It means that the smoke has worked, but they are definitely still investigating my hand. So with angry bees, best thing to do is be extremely slow. If you're extremely slow, then they don't count you as a threat. Again, I'm saying this, and I'm probably going to get stung again. So they are really, really investigating me. Just seeing if I can see any eggs. Can't see any eggs. So these bees are really not happy. So this is what it's like during a honey pull. So you can get really nice bees. These aren't particularly nice bees, these have always been pretty nasty. But you can get nice bees turning nasty during a honey pull because you're stealing their honey. So they have all these stores for winter, and some idiots just come and take them all. So they're feeling extremely unprepared for winter, so they get really annoyed. So these will calm down a bit when I put the other two boxes on top. I just need to make sure that there's no swarm cells. There's plenty of brood though, it's capped brood. I don't think the queen comes down here very often when she's got so much space above her. Because why would you? If you had the penthouse suite, why would you come down to the bottom? So there's lots of larvae in this one. Oh, and loads of eggs. So there's loads of eggs in here as well. So she's got larvae and eggs. It's fine. No disease seen yet. Just being extremely careful and slow. Bees will calm down soon. Another captive brood frame. I don't know if you can hear me actually. There's quite a lot of bees flying around the I'm mentally preparing myself to get stung so I don't scream like a little pansy. Oh. That one stung. So these are nasty. Oh, calm down. One just got me there. You can still see the sting on the hand there. Just flicked it out. It's fine when you're not recording things. You can swear and all sorts. But when you're recording things, you've got to be professional. Oi, 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 that hurts. That one went right down to the bone, that one. Ouch. Right, so. Oh, come on, calm down. So, I'm going to have to be really careful. Go away. Stop attacking me, you guys. Oh, that's another frame of brood. Right. I'm pretty happy that there's no swarm cells down here. I've gone through the majority of the box. I've been stung to buggery doing so, and yeah, I don't see any swarm cells. There's eggs down there as well. It means that the queen has been down there. I also don't see any disease, which is good. Right. I need to put one of these boxes on top so they calm down. So the bottom box is where all the flying bees will be hanging out, all the foragers. So these are the ones that are angry and sting. The ones above are a bit calmer. So I'll put these boxes on. Hopefully I won't get stung doing so. Right. You can see what happens when you get an alarm response going. These come out en masse. So this is why when I say to people, bees in your back garden is not a good idea, this is why. So let's let them calm down a little bit. This box is on top now, so all the flying bees are going into the entrance. They're going into this and going, right, we've got something above us, that's fine. They'll calm down a bit now. So we've got these two boxes here. They're still not particularly friendly, but yeah, they're not that bad. Not as bad as it was down there. Let's take this frame out. So both of these boxes are absolutely full. That's cool. Filling that one with honey. I've just been stung on the wrist. Ouch. Can you please not? Oh, that one hurt. How many stings is that? Should I get a tally? I might stick a tally on. That's full of nectar and honey. Wow, that's a lovely frame of honey. And these guys are really good at collecting honey. So to be careful of is when they fly into your hand when you're holding up frames, they can get here and get really scared and start stinging you because they're worried. So if you get a bee in your hand, just open it up slowly. They tend to fly out. Frame of both brood and honey. Loads of drones in here. Ah! That hurt. Right. So, ooh, the bees are not happy with me holding this frame. Queen might be on this one as well. definitely lots of brood. That's the queen. Yeah, so there's loads of brood, loads of pollen, and honey down one side. There's a queen cup, but I'm not going to touch that because it's not going to be a queen cell anytime soon. These guys have got loads of space. Can't imagine them wanting to swarm anytime soon. They might try and swarm when I take the honey off them though. So what I might have to do is, when I take the honey off, I might have to give them more space. So put an extra brood box on top. So look. So yeah, this has got loads of eggs, loads of larvae. Yeah. She's done well in that one. That's a good little box. So, take this out. Oh, this is stuck for some reason. So this is just a dummy board. Now, oh, let's have a look. So that's lots of honey. Brood in the middle. So when I was talking about that one over there with a bad pattern, this one, this queen's got a good pattern. You can see that she's got a little circle there. So that's what you're wanting. You're wanting circles of brood. I'm trying my best not to shake these frames out because it'll put more angry bees in the air. So to move them out of the way, I just blow cold air on them. Move it out of the way. This is full of eggs. So it's got a lovely pattern there, so as you can see. Cap brood there on the outside. These guys are emerging. You can see there's one emerging right there. That one's emerging right there. And then as that emerges, the queen will come down and she'll lay in there. So this is a really good brood pattern. If she was a nicer queen, I'd be trying to rear off her because she produces lots of honey, as you can see. And she has a really good laying pattern. But the bees are not nice. So unfortunately, she has to go at some point soon. I don't have to worry about it now. For now, she's making more bees. Away. So the flying bees have made their way up. You can see they're starting to batter me now. Oh, just got stung again. Ow. So this is another frame of brood, cap brood here. And in the middle is eggs. So she's doing this is what I'm wanting in frames of brood. I want solid brood, and if it's not solid, I want eggs in the middle where the brood is starting to hatch. She's done a really good job of this. That's a really good frame. Ah, yeah. Ooh, that hurt. Right, I've had enough of these ones. I've seen there's no swarm cells. Seems to be doing well with honey. Oh, that one really hurt. Oh, let me put this back. Let's put these honey frames back on. Ugh. Hate angry bees. Not a fan of this hive at all. Ugh, that queen is going for the chopping block. Ugh, that can be another video at some point. How to deal with angry bees. Ugh. Right, for now though, which way? Let's close these guys up. Ugh, man. Angry bees. She's got plenty of space. There's 2 boxes there where half the frames are still dirty, so the bees are cleaning them up. She's got loads of laying room. Oh, these bees aren't going to swarm anytime soon. Yeah, so I don't have to worry about them. What I will do though is get some of that afterbite and put it on my hand. Oh, God, that hurt. Right, so this nuke was the one where I had a failed introduction from those imported queens. I put a queen from one of my Epidae hives in here, and we're going to see how they're doing. So that's been emptied. So the queen has escaped or been released. We'll see if they've accepted her or if they've seen her off. So we're wanting to see some eggs and we're wanting to see her happily walking around. Do you not believe... Did I mark her? I think I marked her before putting her in. So, bees milling about. More bees milling about. Not seeing a queen yet, that's fine. See if we can see any eggs. I can see some eggs. Yep, there's some eggs in there, so I'll see if we can find the queen. I'm not seeing any queen cells, which was a giveaway last time that something was wrong. A friend of mine called Kevin, who's another bee farmer, he's been in the business for a very long time, sent me a link which I may post at the bottom of this about possibly why those introductions failed. So the bees can tell how well mated a queen is. And supposedly if they let a queen out and then let her lay a bit and then they can see her off, that is an indicator that she has not been mated well. So that's something that I saw quite a bit from those imported queens, was that the queen was allowed to come out and lay up a frame or a bit of a frame, and then the bees killed her off. So it makes me wonder if those queens were not well mated at all, which is another negative to purchasing queens from abroad. You have no idea what the processes are. So I've not seen the queen. I've seen eggs. I've seen the queen there. Let's see. Maybe I just need to get a bit closer. Queen should be very easy to find in small colonies like this one. I'm second guessing whether I saw eggs. I'm pretty sure I saw eggs. Yeah, there's eggs. There's definitely eggs. So something worrying is that there's 1 or 2 eggs in the bottom here. That's fine. That can just be a queen that's been caged for a bit and she's just getting some eggs out. Let's get them out of the way. But it can also be an indicator of laying workers. Now the eggs were right at the bottom, so that's mostly a sign that there's a queen in here. Sometimes the bees can just huddle around the queen and hide her. Sometimes you just can't find the queen because they have a cloaking device. Can't see her. Can't see the queen. But I've seen some eggs, so I'm going to close it up. I hate it when you can't find the queen. But it's not important. I've seen some eggs. I'm going to close it up. I'm going to give them another week. It's a good indicator after a week or so to see if it's your queen or not that you've introduced. Because if it's a laying worker, then all those eggs that are in there will be drone brood. If it is the queen that you introduced, then hopefully it'll be worker brood. But yeah, anyway, I think she's been released. Can't see her, but never mind. Right, welcome back to the jungle apiary. It's been a week now, so this nuke was the one I transported last week. I was originally going to combine it with the colony that was here, but we found that they were drone laying workers, so I had to shake them out over there. So this now has been bolstered by the flying bees that were part of that hive, and I've come back and hopefully the queen is okay and happy. And if she is, then it means that we're going to transfer this into a full-size hive. So I'll show you how to do that. I'm also going to be transferring this one into a full-size hive as well. This was a swarm that I caught at the beginning of the season, so in April I think it was, and hopefully they're of a decent size now. Both can be transferred. So that is a box of bees. Look at that. Wow. So I don't know if you remember, but this wasn't a particularly huge colony when I put this here. I moved the big colony over there. So this was only like half full with bees, and it had a laying queen. And now if you look at it, it's absolutely jam-packed. So all the flying bees have gone from over there and come here, and they've bolstered it. It's absolutely jam-packed now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to blow these down with a bit of smoke. I'm also going to pay quick attention to here and make sure that the queen isn't up here. I'm going to just blow these down, have a quick little inspection and see if I can find the queen and that she's okay in laying. Because sometimes when you get too many flying bees going into a nuke, instead of bolstering it, they come in and go, who the hell's this? And they kill the queen off. So well, that's not what we want. So I've got a frame full of brood there. That's good. That's what we like to see. And we're looking for a bright green dot. So I'm going to put you here just for now, out of the way. So when I transfer this into a brood box, I think I might actually put a super on top as well, because these guys are quite full. So what we're wanting to see is we're wanting to see eggs. Eggs is the first sign that the queen is here. So I'm just going to blow them to the side. I'm pretty sure I'm seeing eggs. Oh, I've put me torch somewhere. I can see eggs. I'm pretty sure I can see eggs, so that's good. It's a good sign. Can't see a luminous green dot yet, but we've only gone 2 frames deep. Just have a quick look on the outside. Chances of her being here is slim, but it's best to check just to make sure. Is she on the wall? No. So I just want to make sure that it is actually the queen that I put in here. Yes, so there she is, right there. You can see her. So she is now the head of this colony that is massive. So because there's so many bees in here and it's so tight, and they've actually started going into the roof there, that means that they will start thinking about wanting to swarm soon, and that's the last thing I want to do with my newly imported queen. So she's hidden down the side there. I'm going to try and pick her up and put her in a cage so I know where she is. Ah, there she is. You fall into my trap. There she is. Right, so I've got the queen. She is going to be secure in this cage. So it means when I transfer the bees across, I don't have to worry too much about transferring her because I've got her already. So I'm going to shake her into the cage. Come on, in you go. Come on. So queens always try and walk upwards. So another trick of doing this is to get it so the queen cage is upwards. She'll go in there and hopefully she'll walk up. There we are. So that's a way of transferring a queen from this into a cage. Queen's in here now, nice and safe, out of the way. I'm actually going to put her. Where am I going to put her? I'm going to put her there for now. I'm just going to put this back. Right. So now, next protocol is to get a high floor, a brood box which is empty, and put it here and move this out of the way. So we'll do that now. So you want the nuke box and the floor of the new hive to face the same direction. So that is the entrance that way. So I'm going to pick it up, move it across there, like that. Okay. Go away, go away. I'm going to put this floor here, like that. The entrance is here, so it's facing the same direction, so any foragers coming back will come back to this location and they'll go straight in. They'll wonder why the nucleus colony, well, nucleus box is now twice the size. So I've loaded it a little bit just to make it a bit easy for you. I'm going to get a brood box. So we've got 6 frames in this nuke box. So what we're going to do is, I've got a brood box here. This has 11 frames in it. So make sure that the frames are the same orientation. It doesn't really matter too much. It's better for the bees that way, I think. They come in, they're a bit less confused. So this is quite a humid box, or it's been a humid place. You can tell because the lugs are quite black from mold. That shouldn't matter too much. The bees should be fine with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove 7 frames instead of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and one more for good luck. What that's going to do is it's going to create enough space that I can fit all 6 frames of there in nice and neatly, and then I'll pick a frame from there that'll sit nicely with these ones. So what I need to do now is I need to transfer these across in the order that they're in the nuke box. So I'm going to label it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is that one there, 6. So I'm going to move 6 in first. Again, what you can do is look for the queen if you haven't found her, but I've found her, so I don't have to worry about that too much. But what I am going to do is I'm going to shake the bees off and just check to see if there's any queen cells, because they were quite cramped in that box. I doubt there will be, but it's just a quick check just to make sure. What you want to do is make sure that this box is as close to this as possible, because it means that the transfer is as quick as possible, especially if you haven't found the queen yet. So you lift it up, transfer across, have a look, see if you can see any queen cells, or if you didn't know where the queen was, look for the queen. Just get rid of that. It's not a queen cell, it's just a bit of comb, but make sure it's nice and neat. So she's laying up this quite well. Nice circular pattern there. Not a lot of food, I've noticed at the moment. Hopefully that'll change as we're going across. If that's the case, then we're hitting June, and June is a starvation month. So if there's not enough food, the bees will starve and they can die very easily. And it's really upsetting seeing a massive colony die out from just a little bit of carelessness. Straight these bees in. No queen cells, and still no food. So what I might do is I might have a look, see if any of the others have a frame of food, and pop this in here, because I've also looked at the forecast, and the forecast says that it's going to be raining for 10 days soon. So yeah, so there's no food in this nuke box at all. So that's not good. So I'll move these across so I can fit that frame in where it's supposed to go. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wasn't it? So it goes in here. Shake the bees in. It's alright. Right, so now that that's all in place, I need to fit another frame in. So I've got a full collection. I'm going to choose this one because it looks okay. So this is what happens when you take the cappings off to get the honey inside. So I've used this as during a honey pull, and the comb's just a bit battered. The bees will fix that in seconds. So I'm going to put that in. Right, so that is now a full box of frames with brood. The bees aren't actually filling this box yet, so I'm not too worried about putting a super on. I was expecting there to be more, to be honest. Next protocol is to get these bees from inside this box into the hive. So the best way to do that is turn it upside down and just gently tap it on the frames. Next one. Try to hit on a corner so you're not flattening bees. Here we go. And that is one nuke transferred into a hive. So you'll see a lot of confusion around the front, and that'll be because the bees are confused why the entrance has changed shape. Don't worry about it too much. It won't take long for them to realise what's going on. I'll transfer the bees from here. So I've got quite a bit of comb in here, so I'll get rid of that in a second. Right, time to release the queen. So the queen is here, and she's hopefully going to go into the frames. So there she goes. She's gone in. The bees have accepted her straight away because it's their queen. Everyone's funky-dory. So I'm going to put a crown board on the roof. Then next week I'll think about putting a super on, because hopefully they'll have expanded outwards. Right. Time for numero dos. Let's see how these guys are going. I've not really checked these for a while. So these guys are in the roof as well. They're not as strong, but they weren't bolstered by a hive worth of flying bees. But I think they're big enough to go into a full body now, so let's get a floor and a roof. So this one is facing that direction. So I'll move it over here. Oof. Get rid of this nettle, because no doubt I'm going to sting myself with it. Point of note, surgical gloves like these do not stop nettles. Found that out the hard way, and I grabbed a nettle thinking, oh, I'm safe. Right. So the entrance is facing that way, and it's open. So the foragers are now going to be flying back here and wondering where their nuke has gone. Right, same again. I'm going to remove 7 frames. Now I haven't found the queen in this nuke, so I'm going to treat it as such. Right, so let's take out 7 frames. So the problem with wooden hives, I find, is that they are more susceptible to moisture. With polystyrene hives, the moisture gathers on the walls and then dribbles out. But with wooden ones, it soaks up, and as you can see, the wood goes a bit black, even though it's cedar. Oh. Right. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Taking 8 frames out. Never mind, it doesn't matter. Right. Oops. Stick this back where it's supposed to be. Make sure it's nice and tight. Okay. So, what we're going to be doing is transferring the bees from there into here. It's best not to use too much smoke, because what you want to do is able to have the bees stay on the frames when they're being transferred across. What I am going to do though is I'm just going to tap these bees out first, just because there could be a queen in here and I don't want her running off. So tap her in. Still some bees in there, but I'll get them in a minute. The majority of them have fallen in there, so that's fine. Right. Let's break this apart. All I'm doing is sticking the edge in there and just twisting. So when I'm breaking the frames apart, all I'm doing is sticking that bit there between the lugs, fits perfectly, and then just twisting like that. Just a nice little twist motion. It's very easy, and it's a way of just breaking the propolis and the seal between the frames. So I'm just going to give this a very slight puff, just to get the bees off the top frames, because what I don't want is for some of this burr comb, which is here, to be joining the frames together. So I don't know if you can see that. It's a very, very tiny, tiny amount that I'm going to use my thumb there. A little tiny puff. It's not a big plume like that. So I want second one in. I was aiming for the second when it's a full box, because the queen could be in here. And if you watch as I lift it up, sometimes the bees roll over the edge, and you don't want them to roll out the hive. So 1, 2, 3, transfer across straight away. I'm going to try and keep it in the order that it was in the box. But while I'm here, I want to look for the queen. I'm not having a very good day at finding queens today. Some days I find them in every single hive, other days I don't. So I think it's the latter. We've got lots of eggs, lots of brood and larvae. This is this was a swarm from one of my overwintered nukes, so I'm not too surprised that they're doing a good job. Not to blow my own horn. That's those two together. There we are. 1, 2, 3. Whoop. So what I'm doing, I'm not looking for the queen until I'm over here. Because then if she drops off, she drops in here, not into there. Just keeping a little weathered eye. Don't have to see her. So if you don't see the queen, don't worry too much. As long as they're eggs and larvae, you don't have to worry too much. Because if, God forbid, you accidentally squish the queen or you lose her in the grass or something along those lines, the bees will have the ability to create another queen. So you don't have to worry too much about finding her right now. It's always good to see her, but it's not necessary. 1, 2, 3. Whoop. There we go. So we're just going to keep looking. Doesn't hurt to look for the queen. Can't see her. Flip it over, see if she's here. Can't see her in this one either. Okay, well there's only 2 frames left, so she's either in one of those frames or I just missed her, which is perfectly fine. Oh, you don't always have to see her. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Transfer. I think I marked her, but I can never be sure. The bees lick marks off really fast. Sometimes, so. Especially silver pens, they really can get a silver pen off really easily. I'm just going to keep looking slowly, methodically. So when I'm looking for a queen, I start in the centre and I work my way around the outside as best I can. It's always going to be a pretty hard job to find the queen because all the bees are constantly moving. Get rid of this bit of wood. Right, then the final frame. So hopefully she's on here, or I've missed her. Whoop. But she has laid up this box completely. So she needed some space. Because these bees would have hatched. And then once it... oh, there she is. She's right there. I have marked her. So you can't see her right now. There we are. See if you can see that. So the queen is here. I found her. Move out of the way. She's hiding amongst all of her minions. There they are. So the queen has been transferred. She's not a particularly big queen at all. But she's doing a good enough job for now. I may have to replace her if she's not doing well later on in the year, but she's only been in the nuke for a few weeks, so I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. So now I'm going to fill this with some empty frames. And the bees should start laying in them almost instantly. Well, so the queen's been attached. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, that's why. So you can only usually fit 11 frames in a hive. So these boxes that I got from Thorns, for some reason they have this massive space here, which is really annoying. So I have to make some more dummy boards up. That's going to be another video at some point. But yeah, so now it means that the bees are probably going to produce some burr comb down here, which is going to be very annoying. But anyway, 11 frames are in. It's fully done. Don't have to worry about that now. Again, we've got a box full of bees, so I'm going to tap these in. I know the queen's safe in there, so I don't have to worry too much. about transferring them all. That's the majority of the bees out. Just brush the last ones in with my fingernails. Put that there to the side. And then same again as before, they've created some burr comb there. So I'm going to try and cut that off. So I'm just going to tap these final bees out of this. So I'll have to clear that in a minute. So blow these down, and I've put my hive tool in my pocket. So out of the way, and then slowly but firmly slide through. Try not to hurt anything. Give the bees enough time to get out of the way. Okay, I'm just going to put that in there for now. Okay, so that's nice and clear on the top. Put a crown board on and then a roof. The bees have got plenty of space in there. Didn't see that much food, to be fair. So, yeah, I'm a bit dubious about that. I might have to put a frame of food in there as well at some point. But I'll have a look through the other hives to see if there's a spare frame of food that I can pass to these two hives. Right now, put the crown board on. So all I'm doing is just plugging those holes so the bees don't come up when I take the lid off next time. So if you remember last week, I combined a nucleus colony with, well, that had the imported queen that survived, with a hive that had rejected their queen. So I'm hoping today that I'll go in here and they'll all be best of mates. So a good sign is there's bees at the top. I'm hoping when I go in here, I'm going to check this now and see if I can find the queen. That's call number 1. I need to make sure that the queen's still alive. After that, I'm going to lift up and have a look in here, and hopefully there'll be a big circle where the bees have chewed their way through the newspaper. So there's a lot of bees up here as well, actually. So I don't know if you saw beforehand, but when I put the bees in here, they were a small nukes. There were only like that many seams there. So looking at this now, there's way more bees than there were before. So that's a good sign. It means that the bees have definitely made their way up. So now all I'm doing is checking for queen. So I'm going to break the seals. And hopefully the queen will be okay. Last thing I want is for the colony to have killed yet another imported queen. Because not only is it killing queens, it's cost me a bloody fortune. So, okay, so puffed of smoke. Poof, 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 poof. These guys are quite calm, to be fair, so shouldn't need too much smoke. I'll lift this up and have a look. So that is full of nectar, so that's cool. Yeah, nectar either side, so it means that, and I can already see down and see that they've definitely broken through the newspaper, so that's fine. They're cleaning these frames up. Ready for nectar, that's fine. Okay, so I want to see eggs. I want to be seeing eggs. I can see an egg. See some eggs, that's fine. So it means that the queen has expanded into here. Because this wasn't one of the original frames. I think this is the first original frame. It's drone brood, that's fine. Just big cells. Queen cup, nothing in it, that's good. Last thing I want to see is queen cells. Okay, I'm going to lift this one up. Good frame of brood. Got eggs in there as well. Not a huge amount of eggs, but we've got 1 or 2. That's fine. Again, frame of brood again. It's fine. Move that across a bit. I'm wanting to look for a bright green luminous dot. Another frame of brood. Queen's doing a good job. Right, so I'll move this over here. So I'm not seeing the huge amount of eggs that I was hoping. That's okay. Could just be that the queen's just taking her time. I'm seeing eggs, but I'm not seeing the queen yet. Positive is that I've not seen any queen cells yet. See queen cells, and I'm in worries. Right now, still looking. So there's lots of eggs in this one, so that's okay. That's fine. That's good. And there she is. Oh, thank God. So she is happy as Larry. The colony now as a whole has accepted her, so that's good. Yeah, lots of eggs. Good. Oh. Squeaky bum time is now finished. That's good. Okay, so we'll just have a look, see if she's laid in here as well. So the bees are, she has laid in here, but the bees are mainly using this top box as a way of producing honey, which is fine. The majority of this was foundation from this year. So what I might do is take the queen and put her in the bottom box. So I need to find her again. So she was in here. There she is. And keep her as close to the center as possible. Capture her. Come on. There we go. Right. So she's there. Okay. So I'm going to put her in a cage. What we're going to do is some jiggery pokery and transfer her and the brood that she's got to the bottom box. This is a full frame of capped brood. So remember what I said before. Bees, queens always climb upwards. So if you use this and have her at the opening here, she'll get to this here, realise the space above, and start walking in. So that's how you can cage her using one of these. So she's now safe in this cage. So what I'm going to do is just keep her safe and warm. I'm going to put her in my top pocket. Right there. She's safe. So she's in my top pocket, so I don't have to worry about it. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames of brood. So I'm going to swap out with the bottom box. Okay. That's fine. I'm going to move this box there. We'll do some jiggery pokery. And because the queen is in my pocket, I don't have to worry about hurting her. So, lift this up. And if you have a look, it's not particularly a circle, but they've definitely chewed through this gap here and here, here. They've eaten around here as well. So I'm going to lift this up. There you are, that's a better view, isn't it? Right? So it seems that the bees down here have accepted her. So I'm going to pull this newspaper off, smoke a fuel. So another thing that I need to do before I start putting her in here is I need to make sure that there's no eggs down here. Because if there's eggs down here, then it means that another queen is downstairs. You can have 2 colonies using the same hive if there's a queen excluder separating them. So I'm just going to do a quick check. The queen's safe in my pocket, so I don't have to worry about that. Just going to move these out. As mentioned before, this is a dummy board. So it's just a plank of wood with lugs either side, so it sits in here. And what that does is it just blocks off a space from the bees. So the bees, this area here just gets ignored by the bees now. So annoyingly, Thorns boxes have too much space. It's not a tight fit for 11 frames like, say, a Bellow and other cedar hives, so it's a bit annoying. So we're seeing a lot of drones down here, and that's because they can't fit through the queen excluder. So they're all just milling about down here, wondering what the hell's going on and when their queen is. Yeah, it's fine. So I'm not seeing any eggs down here, so that's good. Yeah, nothing. Cool. So I'm going to take frames out that have honey in. you have a bit of honey on the top. Move that aside here. And any frames which have not had Apivar on them. So that's 2022. So I write APV if it's had Apivar on it. Annoyingly, you can't use frames for honey if they've had Apivar on. Just a quick FYI. And so many slugs. Oh, there's a bloody problem here. Right, so we've got 4 frames here. There should be 6 frames actually, so I'm going to remove these 2 as well. So these are gone. So what I've done is I've separated those. Oh, moved them up here. So there's enough space here for the 5 frames of brood from this box. I'm going to put them in. The reason I'm doing that is because what I don't want is brood away from the queen, because sometimes the bees can get a bit confused and decide to make queen cells. In the top boxes, even though the queen right and they've got loads of space and loads of food and all sorts. Right. So we're putting the brood frames in. These will hatch this week probably. Another one. And you are food. So another thing I'm going to do is there are 2 hives over here that are deathly low on stores. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to steal some food from this hive and give it to them, because this one's got quite a few frames of food. So push that in. So now I've pushed that in, this space here the bees won't use. They'll just see it as dead, empty space that they can't use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to release the queen again. There she is. Boop. She goes. So she's now in there. I'm not going to use a queen excluder. I don't use a queen excluder in spring because I want the colonies to get as big as possible, and then I shake them down and use a queen excluder during summer. I don't really care about spring harvest because it means I have to clean the clean room twice as much and I have to do twice as much extracting, and it's hard work. So I don't use a queen excluder, so I'm just going to stick this box on top like so. And I'm going to look for some frames of food that I can steal. So that's nectar. That's a heavy frame of nectar. I'm going to steal that one. Put that over here. And you too, I think, are a frame of honey and nectar. Yes, I'm going to steal you as well. So it's always good to be able to steal from one hive to help another. Stick these in. So the bees, I've got lots of space. There's still some food in here for them for when it turns rainy in the next few days. The brood is in the bottom, so that's fine. It means that the queen will be able to move across, and she may even come up to lay as well now because there's lots of space and there's no queen excluder stopping her. I'm going to swap out those frames every 2 minutes. Right, now I've added those frames, I'm going to clock this up. And yeah, these guys will be happy for now. Hopefully that queen will start laying up and these guys will get nice and strong for summer. Next I need to go to the other one where the queen was accepted. I need to see how good these guys have got, or how big they've got. And hopefully if they're big enough, let's get rid of these nettles before I sting myself. Hopefully if they're good enough, I can put a super on. Give them a bit of space. So I need to do some pruning around here with Strimmer soon. Right, so this was pretty much the only one here that had accepted the queen straight off the bat. So let's hope these guys are doing well. So they should have started to expand now. It's been a couple of weeks. The queen should have laid up. It's empty frame, that's fine. Because these guys were getting particularly weak when the queen took over. Let's break it apart. She should be laying well. Right, so that's empty frame. That's a frame of food, that's good. Another frame of food, but are there any eggs in there? No, no eggs. So some brood there. And there's the queen. Luminous green, there she is. So the queen's still about. She's laying okay. She's laying a couple of eggs per thing. That's not great. I'm really not happy with these imported queens. Really not gone the way I wanted it to. And there is a queen cell right here. And there's a larvae in there as well, so that's a queen cell. So that's not good. I'm going to keep knocking it down until more brood comes about, but that to me is worrying. So now what I need to do is I need to go through every frame and shake the bees off. So I'll start with this one. I need to make sure that every single queen cell is knocked down. I just pay close attention to this hive now. This one. So the queen was on this one, I think. Yeah, she's there, so I'm not going to shake this one, just in case I hurt her. What I am going to do is blow. What you want to do is check the edges, and you want to check the tops and the bottoms. Just can't see any queen cells there, that's fine. And there wasn't any brood on the other ones. I want to keep checking these ones. Check off. So the brood pattern of this queen isn't great. And there's another queen cell here. Just these imported queens, man, they're just not good. Not very good at all. Like, there's just no eggs in this frame at all. You've seen her over there. She should be absolutely filling this. Queen cell there. This hive should be absolutely full of eggs. She's had weeks to she's had a couple of weeks since she's been released, so this whole box should be full of capped brood. So there's eggs in there, but really not impressed. Yeah, she needs to be requeened. Unfortunately, I'm going to be doing my queen rearing soon. That's just food, that's fine. And the other one will be food as well. Yeah. So yeah, this queen is not doing very well at all. She's brand new. She should have laid up the majority of this now. Like, the amount of bees in there is not too low. And it's not too cold at the moment that she should be struggling. She should have laid up all these frames here. We should have lots of capped brood after 2 weeks, and there's just not. So I'm not happy with this queen. So she's gonna have to be replaced with one of my own when I make them. That is very annoying. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this on top, and I'm gonna write on the top NH, and then I think today is the 2nd of, what's it? So that to me means not happy It means I want to make sure that she's doing better next time I come here. But yeah, I'm not happy with her. Right, on to the next one. So I'm not sure if you remember this one. Oh, deal. So this was the queen that started the year. She was laying like a trooper, but there just wasn't enough bees to provide her the support that she needed to get those eggs into bees. So I gave her a load of frames of brood just to bolster her. Let's see how she's doing, and hopefully I can do it without losing my head to this branch. Really need to get in here and do some strimming. This is the one problem with having your apiary in a nature sanctuary. Nature. So she has expanded into the second box. That's good. They've not made it fully into here yet, but they are clearing it up. They're working on it. It's not a particularly nice looking comb, but if you look on the edges, they're starting to clean it up because it's a lot lighter than it is over here. So over here it was a bit mouldy and gross, but if you look, they're cleaning it. They're getting rid of all that mould. That's good. More slugs. I hate slugs. And here they've cleaned up the frames enough that they're happy to put honey in. That's good. Those frames are, those combs are looking very clean. So I'm going to take this top box off. Ping this slug away. Go away, slug. So let's have a look at you. She's doing great. Hang on. Go away. Right. So I need a machete in this place. So she was only filling up 6 frames. 6 seams or whatever. She's expanded out here and she's in that box as well, so she's happy. She's doing much better now. I've given her some bees. Now she is a year old. Well, I think she might be 2 years old. I think she's a year old. So she is slowing down a bit. It's an empty frame with gross slugs. Lovely. Yeah, so that's an empty frame. That's fine. Put that there. Out of the way. In fact, I might put it over here just to get it really out of the way. I'm going to transport one of my nukes over here and fill that hole. It's nectar. And now we've got brood. And lots of eggs. She's a laying trooper, this one. She just needs more bees. I think that she could fill up a massive hive if she had enough bees. So we've got eggs and we've got brood. That's a good pattern. So even though she's a year old or so, that's a good pattern. Got here where it's just fresh eggs, fresh larvae, and here is capped brood, which is all going to be emerging this week probably. So she's going in, filling any holes that she can find. That is what that one over there should be doing. This hive here is excellent. That one over there is just rubbish. I'm really not happy with that imported queen. No eggs on this frame, that's annoying. But that frame's lovely and full of eggs. Now she does have free reign to go up and down, this queen, so she won't always fill out the bottom with eggs. She might get distracted and go up top. I think she's well marked as well, so I should be able to see her. Lots of eggs in there. I'm just going to shake this one off, just because it's a bit knobbly, and sometimes I can put queen cells in there when they get a bit confused. No, it's doing okay. I've got a queen cup. No, it's doing fine. It's doing much better. Right. It's amazing difference just adding a few more bees can do. Yep, that's fine. Eggs, lots of brood. It's good. I think she'll be filling up that box very soon. She's got a bit of space though, so I'm not gonna give her too much space because this might get a bit chilly. Yeah, it's good. Lots of brood. No swarm cells, thank God. Not seen her, but I'm having a day where I'm not seeing queens, so I'm not too fussed about that. As long as I've seen eggs, which I have, no swarm cells, which I haven't seen, and lots of decent brood. Look at that, it's decent. Yeah, this queen's doing well. It's good for an old bird. Oh, there she is. There's the queen. She's right there. Can you see that? I hope so. I'll turn it that way just in case it comes to... she is. Red dot. So she's last year's queen. So she's had a year. So if she does well this summer and produces me 4 supers, if she produces 4 supers of honey for me, I'll turn her into a mating queen where she can live in the lap of luxury. Be mollycoddled, looked after, and produce me lots of decent queens like her. Right, put the super on top. So these bees are really good. Can do this all I want and they're not flying at me. Don't know if you saw before, but there were some very angry bees. I got stung very badly. But these are just like really chill. Oh, that's what I want. I want nice calm bees that I can waft my hand over for no reason in particular. Right, next. Right, I need to hack at these. Yeah, get some space so you can see what's going on. Did all this last week. It's all popped back up again. The resilience of weeds. Nettles in general. Yeah, go away. Go on, make some space. Last year I sharpened one of my hive tools to a razor point, thinking I can use this as a way of hacking through things, which, you know, can do. But I ended up just pushing it through the bottom of the pocket where I keep my hive tool. And I kept losing hive tools from then on. I didn't know why for a few weeks until I realised I had a hole in my pocket. Right, so this is very much like the other queen, where she was laying really well, but she was a very small colony. I've left her for a few weeks now with space on top. Gave her loads of bees. Oh, well, gave her a few frames of brood and then pretty much just left her to it because I had other things I needed to do. And there's loads of eggs up here already, so the queen has moved up. I'm seeing some queen cells actually, so that's concerning. I think the cup's more than cells. Let's see. Yeah, but anyway, right. Have a quick nosy. That's lovely brood there. Look at that. Nice circle pattern. It's good. And they're storing some food up here as well, so that's all right. Now, I don't think I marked this queen because I couldn't find her. So she could be absolutely anywhere. No idea. Right, I'm going to transfer this box off. Move it over here so I can get into the brood box. Let's have a look. So again, when given the choice, they will always expand upwards rather than outwards. They've got loads of space on the sides here. So that is quite annoying, but you know, it's fine. Just gives me more time before they want to swarm. Right, I'll push those down. Oh, you can see that they've made a load of brace comb and they have started filling it full of larvae. So this stuff, these will just be drone brood. It's very rare for them to do worker cells, so it's nothing to worry about losing. We have bees here. What are they doing? They are filling that with nectar. Okay, that's fine. So they were covering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seams and they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 seams up there. So they've expanded quite a lot in a few weeks. That's good. That's what I want. I want them to be nice and happy. Some brood. They're happy with her. Some eggs as well. Lovely colour. It's interesting because that's foundation that I added. They've drawn it up just enough to fill with brood, and then they've decided to give up the ghost. So I'm going to turn that round so they focus on this side now. More brood. Keeping a little eye out for the queen. Don't have to, but you always get a little warm sense of achievement when you find the queen. Lots of eggs. Lots and lots of eggs. So she's doing great. Wherever she may be. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. More brood, loads of eggs, loads of larvae. That's good. So the 3 things I always say is brood, food, and space. So these guys have got food, because I've already noted that they've got some stored there. They're also storing it in the super. I'm seeing lots of brood, which is good. And she's got space to the side. So these guys are happy for another week, I'd say. I'm not seeing any swarm cells or anything. I'm nearly halfway through. Usually you should go all the way through, but if you're quietly confident that they're not going to swarm, then you can get away with it. Just a quick look. Again, loads of brood in this one. She's doing amazing, this queen. She may become a new breed of queen if she does well. I'm wanting 4 supers, girls. 4 supers of honey. And then live in the lap of luxury. Loads of eggs, wow. She's doing brilliant. Yeah, loads and loads of brood. That is awesome. I'm happy with that. Let's have a look at this one. This one looks like it's a foundation frame that they've half-assed again. Yeah. So she's not doing great for drawing out frames of foundation, but I think it's because they've got the space, so they don't see the point. Yeah, so I'm going to flip that around as well. But they are using it, that's good. Let's move you over here. There we go. We have drawn it out for the most part. That's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix things up a bit. Got 2 frames here that they're not using. So I'm going to push. So what you can do is try and encourage them to use the space. Is you can push the frames out to the outside, and then when you get to this area where there's brood, you put an empty frame. Especially foundation. If you put a frame of foundation next to brood, they can't stand having foundation next to open brood. So push that there, like that. I'm going to put this one in. This is just an empty frame. So hopefully the queen will come down and she'll go, oh bloody hell, there's a whole frame here. Close that off, and then that one. In fact, I think we're okay now. I think we just need to close you up. Yeah, you're doing great, guys. Good work. Put this box on. Yeah, I'm happy with that. She's doing great. Slow start, but it was a slow start for everyone here. She's coming back. I'd say maybe in another month or so, she'll be huge. Right, next one. So these were the last 2 that I didn't requeen with the imported queens. As you can see already, there's a big difference. I should have just kept the other bees like this. I shouldn't have faffed around with imported queens, but I did, and now I'm paying the consequences. But I've got a pretty decent colony here. They're on 2 broods and 1 super, so that's good. Ground board off. These guys are Massive. So this is absolutely jam-packed with bees. It's a brood box. And I think it's just honey. I'll have a quick look. So the outer frames will be where they put stores, and the inner frames are where they put brood. So this is full of honey and nectar. That's huge. So I'm just going to have a quick look at the centre frames, because if the queen's come up here, she'll have gone to the centre frames to lay. And yep, we're full of brood, lots of larvae, loads of eggs. Jeez, this queen is awesome. So she's gone all the way up here laying eggs. So this queen is using the space really well. So that to me means that if they're up here, I'm going to have a look in the other boxes, but she may need more space. Because what do I always say? Repeat after me. Brood, food, and space. She's got lots of brood, there's lots of food, she's needing space. Yeah, so this is all of these seams are full of bees. Let's have a look. Whoa, they may have just moved upwards because there's lots of space. So this here is super. They've cleaned this up. So all of these frames were. That's a good. Yeah. So you can probably see here it's quite dark, black and brittle. So the bees have been cleaning this up. On the outside, they're still not clean properly, but on the inside, they're very, very, very clean. And they've started laying eggs. So the queen has laid eggs in here. So that's cool. God, I can feel the heat. There's so much heat being pumped out by these guys. Loads of larvae in here as well. So they're not filling this box completely yet. So there is space, so I don't have to worry too much. What I might do is, because that's got honey on it, I might put a honey super on top of there, so they're encouraged to put more honey in rather than brood, but we'll see. They're doing quite well. But I'll keep this in the middle, because the reason I put this in the middle is because I wanted them to clean up the frames, and when you have dirty frames in between brood, they tend to clean it up quite fast. That's why these ones here are very clean, and the ones on the outside are still a bit dirty. So I'm going to move these about a bit, just to see if I can encourage them to clean up these frames as well. Yeah, they're quite clean, so put that there. Interleave them between the brood frames, and the bees will try and clear them up as quick as can. Okay, this is going to be a massive video, I've just realised, but hopefully I'm coming up with some pearls of wisdom, I hope. And this is absolutely jam-packed as well. So this is another dummy board here. This is another type. This is the type that I build myself. I use a type of frame that doesn't have the Hoffman spaces. And then I put 3mm ply in the middle. So these are the ones that I make myself. They're a bit more robust than the bit of wood and twig on top. Yeah, so these guys are doing really well. I think I'm going to give them a bit more space. And I think I'll put it on top of the boxes rather than in between. This is jam-packed. So we've got a queen cup. Don't think it'll have anything in because she's got so much space and so many bees. She's happy as Larry. Yeah, so I can't imagine them wanting to swarm from here. But sometimes the bees, even though they've got loads of space, they just reach a point of wanting to just swarm because, like, we've got so many bees here, we should just definitely reproduce. Look at that frame. Frame is just solid brood. That's amazing. This queen is awesome. If only I hadn't got those imported queens all my colonies would be like this. Oh, I'm an idiot. Never mind. Really slowed myself down. Oh well. Yep, so I'm happy with this one. She's not going to swarm. She needs some more space. She's got plenty of food. She's got loads of brood. I've not seen her, but I'm not too bothered about that. I saw a load of eggs. Yeah. So let's put this box back on. Hopefully they'll start cleaning that up. Put this one on. And then I'm going to stick a little super on top. And hopefully they'll decide to fill that with honey. So this is a particularly nasty one. But they'll sort it. So don't worry if your frames come out of winter and they look like that. A bit mouldy and got some bits and bobs. Just looks gross. The bees will clean it all up. And they are very fastidious before they store their honey, because the last thing they want is to infect their honey with anything that will make it ferment or make them poorly. So they're very, very good at cleaning up. So that's what they're going to do with this. They're going to come up, they'll realise that it's some gross frames, and they'll go, oh, I need to clean some more frames. Oh, and they'll get at it. But yeah, so that's good. Again, I'm not using Queen Excluder. I want the Queen to have the full reign of this. Of this hive for now. Nearly done. Oh, this is what it's like, guys, when you have a load of bees. So when you've got 2 or 3, but when you've got, how many have I got now? Too many. So these guys look like they're in the same boat. So this is another colony that I didn't replace the queen because they seem to be coming out of winter quite well. Just look at that. That is full of honey. You can tell it's honey because it's really heavy. So that. If you notice, no bees have stung me, like at the other apiary where I was getting battered. So, let's see how many frames. So that's full as well. Tell you what, I'm going to move this down here because it's going to get quite heavy and I don't want to damage the roof. Right. So that was full seams. This is full seams. A quick gander, see what it's like. Oops, sorry, love. So should be either honey or brood, and there's lots of brood. Wanting to see eggs. Loads of eggs. Wow, that's a huge amount of eggs. The whole side is filled with eggs. Right, okay, that's good. So Queen's in there. So we're just wanting to keep ahead of her with space. Oh wow, that's heavy. That's got quite a bit of honey in it. Here's another super. This one was particularly dirty as well. As you can see, they've cleared it up. They've made fresh comb. So shake this off. So look at that comb there. It's so much lighter because they've repaired it. This was really nasty. That's why I stuck it in the middle. And they've just completely come at it. If it's really bad, they eat it away and just get rid of the get rid of the wax, and then they redo it themselves when there's a flow. But yeah, these guys are doing really well. They're on all seams of this super, so even though they're not particularly filling it with anything other than eggs, from what I can see, they are using the space. So let's have a look. Yeah, it's full of eggs. And look at how clean that comb is. Done a really good job there. Right, so I'll have a look underneath, and then I may have to... Yeah, so these guys are filling all the seams. This is a huge colony. And this is the benefit of having no queen excluders, that the queen can just go up and down and lay as much as possible, as much as she wants. And because there's brood on every level, the bees don't feel like they need to make a queen. They don't feel that emergency response. So these guys are happy as Larry. They know they're a big colony. They know they've got lots of space. It's going to be a bugger when it comes to me having to shake all these bees down when it comes to summer. But I want this to be a massive colony. And it's a much better way of getting bigger colonies than Demarest, which has become really popular recently, and I'm really not sure why. It just creates more problems for you as far as I'm concerned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that brood box on top of here, and hopefully they'll take the honey from out of it and move it into one of these supers instead. And use this for brood. They do need space though, so what I'm going to do is give them another super. I'm going to put the super here first. So this is another one that's really nasty as well. Look at that. Ugh. So it looks like some sort of spider or something's made a home in there. I'm hoping that my new shed, which is what I'm going to be storing these honey supers in from now on, will stop this from happening in future. Because it's well ventilated. Right, I'm going to stick this on. Oop. Like so. Now, the issue with doing the no queen excluder is that if they do decide to swarm, which they can do, as I said, they can reach a maximum limit of bees, you will have to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes to find queen cells to knock them all down apart from one, which can be an absolute bloody nightmare. But for now they seem to be happy, and as long as I keep ahead of them with space, they should be happier. Right, so the last two of this apiary. So I'm going to transfer this one into a hive, and this one had made its own queen and killed the imported queen, which was a bit annoying, to say the least. So we'll see how she's doing. Because she hadn't started laying, I don't think, or she just started laying. She's had a week anyway. Look, let's take you off. Plenty of bees in there anyway. Right, tap them off. Check for the queen, she's not there, that's good. Right, so I marked her because I saw her. And I begrudgingly marked her. So hopefully that mark will stay there. So this hive is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 frames, 8 seams, sorry. So they're doing alright. Not booming like the others, but it's fine. There's nectar. So they are finding a source of nectar. Well, there's plenty of flowers about. Right here. More nectar. I can hear a tooting, so that means that the queen might be nearby. I'm annoyed for some reason. Still no eggs. She should be laying this up. Still no eggs. And a queen cell. With a charged larvae. Okay. Interesting. So I'll get rid of that one. I have to really, because I've opened up the cell. But well, there's one, there's more. This is just like a little disappointment, this hive. Let's have a look. There's more queen cells here. And I'm not seeing any eggs. I am seeing drone brood. So this cappings here stick out like bullets. That makes this drone brood, which is just crap. So what that means is the queen that I saw has mated really poorly, and then the bees have seen that she's not mated properly and have seen her off. Unfortunately, that means that all of these queen cells are now absolutely useless, because if she's not mated well and she's producing lots of drones like that, it means that she can only make drones, so queen cells will not be viable. Shoot these off. I'm no longer trying to find the queen, I'm just trying to find queen cells now. And what I'll do is I'll take a frame of brood from somewhere else and put it in, and hopefully they'll make a queen from that. Yeah, there's no eggs. No. So they've killed her off. She wasn't producing any workers, so... that was a hard one. There she is, actually. There's the queen. Right there. So that is a drone laying queen. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to see her off. I did say when I saw her that she was very small. And yeah, so she's laying poorly. She's laying really bad. So there are some eggs, but there's like 3 or 4 eggs in one thing. Yeah, the bees aren't happy with her. So if the bees aren't happy with her, I'm not happy with her. So I'll sort her later. So that does not want to stay in my pocket. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to take a frame of brood from somewhere else, hopefully a decent colony, and replace it in here. I'm going to be swapping that into a full-size hive, so I may steal a frame of brood from that. So that's next protocol is this. So, floor and roof, crown boards are in the floor. So let's go through it one last time for those at the back that weren't listening. Swap out a nuke into a full-size hive. Make sure you know which way it's orientated. So this one's facing that way. I'll move that down here. And I'm going to put the new floor, which is here, that direction. So that new floor is going to be facing that direction. Like that. I need to get an entrance block, which I saw a minute ago. Where did you put that? Oh, it's here. Found it. So, with these Abello ones, I always keep the mouse guard on. It doesn't slow the bees down too much, and it just stops things from getting in. It also reduces the entrance slightly, so it means that if they get attacked by other bees or whatever, they've got a bit more of a defensive point. So, move that there. Stomp these down. And then we need a brood box, so we'll get this one here. Right, there we are. Right, I need to take out, well, first of all I need to find my tool, which is here. I need to take out 6 frames, or 7 frames. 1. Just move them out of the way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah? Get the smoker just in case. Oh. As I said, actually, I'm going to steal a frame of brood from there and put it in that hive there so it can create a queen. So I'll stick this back in. Yeah. Right, so unhook that. Push this as close as possible, because we want to have as little space between these two areas. Now, we haven't found the queen in this one, but she is one of the Oh, she's one of those imported queens. So she's got a luminous green dot. As you can see, they've started producing comb in the roof. We're going to tap these guys out. Hopefully the queen, if she's there, will fall in. There we are. All the bees are gone. Just seeing if this has got any eggs in it. Nope, no eggs. Okay, so we have to be careful because if you look here, so there's some brace comb here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to smoke the bees off very gently. Very, very small puffs. Just to get them off it. Because I want this to not cause any issues. So I'm just going to be very gentle and very small puffs of smoke. Tap these guys off. Some queen there. Again, this one. I don't want to hurt any bees. So we're very slow. And any bees that are on there, they fly off. It's good. Right, so that now is free of brace comb. So I want to break the seal between the frames. Just a little twist. Nice and easy. Okay, so worryingly, I can see what looks like a swarm cell, which is not what I want to see. So we'll have a look when I'm going through. So we do have some swarm cells. In fact, we have a virgin queen right here that is almost ready to hatch. So that is... that's worrying. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to... so that virgin queen, the cell's broken and I can see her. She's just on the cusp of being ready to hatch, and I don't know what to do, really. There's no way that she'll come out of this unscathed, so I think I'm just going to have to get rid of them. Sorry. What I might do is, I might give her to that high over there. So I'll bring her close so you guys can see. So as you can see, she's got her wings ready and she is moving, but she's stark white, so she's not finished growing yet. She's not got her colours. So unfortunately, because I've busted that cell, she can't be kept. It's such a shame. Right, so what I'm going to have to do now is I'm going to have to shake these bees off, because clearly they've either killed the queen. So there's loads of swarm cells down there. So it's not all lost, so put that there. Oh, well, at least I can give them a queen as well. We're looking for a luminous green dot. I can't believe that there's so many bees in here. And she's swarmed. I can't believe she's swarmed because she's a brand new queen. I think what's more likely to have happened. Yeah. So I think what's happened is they've seen her off and produced these queen cells. So I've just found a cell that is hatched. So there is a virgin queen in here somewhere. That is annoying. But there's a queen cell there as well. It looks like it's about to hatch, so. Well, this is new. That's not new. It's just annoying. Just do a quick check, see if I can see the luminous dot. If I can't see the luminous dot, she's gone. Can't see any eggs. And I can see a load of queen cells, so I think that she's bit the dust, unfortunately. Loads of queen cells, right. Annoying, but it's what happened. So you always have to deal with what happens. You can plan for anything, and the bees will poop all over it. Okay, so what I need to do now is I need to find 2 good queen cells. I need to find a good queen cell to go in there, and a good queen cell to go in here. Debating doing a little split of this because it is quite strong, and creating another nuke just so I can keep another queen cell. But I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Any luminous green? No luminous green there. And no luminous green there. Okay, so I think that queen is gone. I think she's dead. I think they've killed her, which is upsetting. That's another failed imported queen. So what's that? That's 40% take rate, which is just dreadful. But I've got some queens. I've got some decent broods there, and I've got some queen cells, so I can fix this problem. So I'm going to do a small split. It's not what I want to do, but it's probably for the best for these bees. So I find 3 queen cells that I'm happy with on 3 different frames. So I'm going to shake the bees off. Right, so there's a queen cell there. That seems quite a decent one. Yeah, and it's on its own. So I'm going to put that in here. It's going to be a small colony. Just going to fill it up. There's some frames. Put it over there in one of the blank spaces, and then ignore it for a few weeks. That's one. If I see the Virgin Queen, then that's awesome, but I don't think I will. Right, so so all of these queen cells are capped, so I don't have to worry too much. Okay. So it's been a long day and my battery died. I found a Virgin Queen that was just emerged, and I've placed it in that hive there, so I'm going to close that up. So there's a Virgin Queen in here. I've just taken the queen out. There's a Virgin Queen on the loose in here now. So that's that done. Don't have to worry about that. Right now I've got 2 colonies here. There may be a Virgin Queen running around because I did find an empty cell. But I'm not sure which box it's in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to destroy all but 1 cell in both, and then if there's a Virgin Queen, 2 Virgin Queens in there, hopefully the colonies will be too small and they'll fight it out to see which one's the best one. So this one has 3 queen cells in the bottom there. And this one has a queen cell there and a queen cell at the bottom there. That queen cell there looks like it's going to hatch soon. So if I get closer, if you can see, like, there's a dark line around it, so that means that one's going to hatch very soon. So I think I'm best destroying all the other ones. So there's one up here as well. Destroying all the other ones and then leaving that one to emerge on its own. So I need my hive tool. That one's staying there, so I'm going to destroy this one. Yeah, so that queen was not anywhere near being finished, so that's okay. Get rid of this one as well. So there's 1 queen cell on this frame. So I'm going to place that in here. This is going to be new queen, hopefully, that will emerge and will take over this colony, even though it's quite small. So this here is another one. It's got 3 queen cells at the bottom. So I'm going to have a quick look at this. Shake these out. So, as I said before, I don't know if you heard because the battery ran out. All the queen cells on this are capped. So generally it means that you can shake them without too much impunity. So I'm just going to have a look at all 3 of these. I'll bring them close to you. See which one looks the best. So that one looks the longest, and it's not worryingly elongated, and these 2 are conjoined. I always choose one that's on its own rather than 2 that are conjoined, because if I try and destroy one of these, I could damage the queen in this one. So I'm going to leave this one and destroy those 2. Yeah, and both queens here are underdeveloped, so it's fine. So I've got 1 queen cell in there. I think I've already made that new cup, actually. I've already made a new cup with a queen cell. Let's have a look. I think I did. Yes, so there's a queen cell already in this one here. Right there, at the bottom. So, and that looks like it's very close to hatching. In fact, I can see her pincers coming through now. So I'll tell you what, I'll help her, and you can have a look and see what it's like to see a queen emerge. So there's a queen cell there. There you can see it's elongated. What I'm going to do now is, because I can see her pincers trying to cut through, I'm going to release her. So I'm going to get rid of these bees. Go away. I'm going to cut it open, just with the corner of my tool, just give her a little bit of help. There's her head. As you can see, she's starting to come out. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more for you. Right. Let's pull this lid off. Go away. Leave her alone. So she is now trying to figure out how to get out. Even though there's a great big gap for her to come through. We're going to have a quick nosy from this angle so you can see her. Yeah, she is in there. She's just having a mill around, trying to clear up a cell as she comes out. The big reveal. She's coming now, I think. All the other bees are going, what are you doing? It's this way. Coming out or what? Jeez. Looks really confused about where she's supposed to be going. I can see her bum. Oh, there's a red. There's a red. There she is. And she's coming out any second. And there she is. Lovely orange queen. Now the bee's giving her a bit of food because she's just gone through a bit of trauma coming out of there. So I am now going to close up this hive. Zoom out. So yeah, I'm going to close up this hive now. Have to be very careful. Oh, because I don't want to hurt her. So I'm going to be very careful, slowly lowering this in. So this now has 3 frames. This is half a nuke, which I'm really not happy with, but it's the cards have been dealt. So now that queen has got to go out and mate. And hopefully she'll start heading this colony and make it big, and then, yeah. Right, let's find a place to put it. There we go. Right, which way is it facing? Okay, let's get rid of that. I'll just open the entrance very slightly. I want to give this tiny nuke much of a chance as possible. Right, now we have to deal with this one. Right, so we already have a cell in there and it looks like it's going to emerge soon, so I can get rid of this queen cell. And again, she's underdeveloped. She's not at that stage yet. where she can survive. She's not even moving. Yeah, it's just there. So that's fine. Can get rid of that. I think that's all the queen cells in here now. So we only have 3 frames. I've got 1 queen cell. All of them. I've got quite a few bees, but definitely not enough to fill this hive. So I'm going to shake this out as well. So I think I saw queen cells on this one. We need to be very careful that we don't leave more than 1. Right, this one here. Get rid of that. Good job I did, because there's more here as well. There's 2 there. 3. Get rid of that. Sorry if you're squeamish. Right, so that's that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find that queen cell again and make a dot where it is. So it's there, right there. So I'm going to make a dot where it is, right here. Boop. So it means that I know where to look to make sure it's emerged later on. But now I just have to leave these hives for another few weeks again. God, these hives are never going to get inspected at this rate. Crown board, roof. Remove that snail. Excuse me. And job done. Well, that was different. Wasn't expecting that today. Anyway, I hope you had a good day. I'll see you later. Bye.